This is the iPhone 16. And in today's Day in the Life, I'll be putting it through its paces to see if it's worth considering in mid-2025.
So it's currently 8:58 and our battery percentage is at 100%. Let's get into this Day in the Life. Before we continue on with this Day in the Life, we're going to make sure that we started off right by protecting the iPhone 16. This is where my friends at ESR come in.
Starting off with the ESR Ultra Tempered Glass Screen Protector, application is super easy with a two-step process, cleaning and applying. It is a military-grade protection withstanding up to 50 kilograms of impact and is designed to go to the edges of the screen, making sure the whole screen is fully covered. It's super scratch resistant with my keys not even being able to scratch through it, and has a water-resistant coating. Next, we have the Halo Lock Hybrid case, which also has military-grade protection up to 11-foot drops. This case has 3 things I love about it. A camera control button, which gives full functionality while protecting the camera control button. Number 2, a built-in kickstand, which is super useful for watching movies and content on your phone. And number 3, MagSafe compatibility with 25% stronger magnets than other cases. ESR is a leading brand in MagSafe accessories and have options for other iPhones and Samsungs.
So if you want to keep your device protected, check out the link in my description to check out ESR. And now that we're all good to go, let's get going in this Day in the Life.
So it's currently 9:59 and our battery percentage is at 84%. So let's talk about the display on the iPhone 16. On the front is a 6.1-inch OLED panel that has a Full HD Plus resolution, equating to a 460 pixel per inch density. Colors and sharpness are excellent with HDR10 and Dolby Vision, making the 16 great for watching content. On the brightness side, the 16 can display up to 2000 nits in high brightness mode, making it easy to see in most lighting conditions, including under sunlight. Now, there is one thing that makes this display very disappointing. It's still stuck at 60 Hz, which for a phone of this price is not great. There are plenty of phones half the price of this phone that have 120 Hz refresh rates already. So altogether, while the 16 has a high resolution and great brightness, the lack of a high refresh rate means that the highest grade the 16 can get is a B+.
Yeah, so now we're heading off to the Easter service because it is Easter Friday today. So now our battery percentage is at 82% and it's currently 10:04. So it's been draining a little bit, but I've been using the phone quite a bit. Anyway, let's head off to the Easter service. Okay, so it is now currently 11:51 and our battery percentage is at 74%. Now we're just gonna go over to a friend's house for lunch. See you guys there. Alright, so it's currently now 1 o'clock and our battery percentage is now at 65%. So let's talk about the performance on the iPhone 16. The iPhone 16 is equipped with the A18 chip and 8GB of RAM. It's not the same chipset on the iPhone 16 Pro, since this one has one less GPU core, but it's still powerful enough to play most intensive games like Genshin Impact on the highest graphics settings. So definitely on the gaming side, it's super capable. Now talking about the day-to-day usage, the performance here has been super solid. You can launch apps, multitask, and do pretty much anything on here with minimal stutters and minimal lags. Everything runs super smooth on the iPhone 16, as you would kind of expect. The 18 chipset is still one of the most powerful chipsets you can get on any smartphone currently, so you should expect to get pretty much the best performance out of this phone. So the iPhone 16 deserves an A grade for its performance. Now let's get some lunch. Okay, so now we just had our lunch and it is now currently 2:26. Battery percentage is at now 56%. Now we're gonna head home and we'll continue on with this Day in the Life. Alright, now it's 3:13 and our battery percentage is at 49%. Back home now, but I've got quite a few things to do, got quite a lot of filming to do, and also some setting up of devices. Let's get into it. Okay, so it's now currently 4:30 and our battery percentage is at 40%. I'm using the ESR MagSafe mount to film the shot right now. This is a pretty cool gadget that pretty much allows you to stick this on any surface using MagSafe to stick your phone to it, so that's pretty cool. But let's talk about the cameras on the iPhone 16. The iPhone 16 is equipped with 2 cameras, a 48MP main wide camera and a 12MP ultra wide camera. I've got my sister Abby over here, so let's take a few photos and see how they look. Starting with the main camera, photos taken have great dynamic range, colors, details, and sharpness, as you would expect from an iPhone. Cropping it to 2x, we get a tighter shot that basically is unchanged in quality from 1x, which is great. It's as close to an optical level of zoom without having a dedicated zoom camera. Switching to the ultra-wide camera, the dynamic range, colors and details are excellent, just like the main camera, and is honestly one of the best available in this price segment. Portrait mode is alright, but I don't really like the iPhone's portrait mode as it looks rather fake. But that's my personal opinion. Selfies are great as well, but they're basically the same as the last few generations of iPhones, since they all use basically the same selfie camera technology. On the video side, the iPhone 16 can shoot up to 4K 60 on all of the cameras, and it also has optical image stabilization with the center shift stabilization on the main camera, so it looks pretty good when you're moving around and walking around. Overall, the video quality is pretty good as you would expect from an iPhone. The last thing I want to talk about is the camera control button, which in my opinion is not that useful, but it does allow you to do some quick gestures and quick actions without touching the screen of the phone, which I don't know why you would be not touching the screen of the phone because you're using an iPhone. Anyway, that's there if you like it. Overall, the iPhone 16 cameras are great with a great main and ultra-wide camera along with impressive videos, but the lack of a dedicated zoom camera or any special features sets it back. Overall, the iPhone 16 cameras deserve a B+ grade. Alright, with that out of the way, let's go back to some more editing and more work.
Feeling like today is your birthday. Bring it on. Fresh cut, tape a new vid.
Alright, I tried to get the background with the sunset going, but I don't know if I actually got the timing right. But anyways, it's now currently 5:40 and our battery percentage is at 27%. Now let's talk about the design, the features and the software of the iPhone 16. So let's start off with the design. The iPhone 16 design is pretty basic and looks pretty much like the iPhone 15, except the camera design is different. We also do have the action button and the camera control button if that matters to you. It is IP68 water and dust resistant and also has aluminium and frosted glass. So all the usual stuff from the design side. Features wise, we do get Apple Intelligence and iOS 18. Apple Intelligence, in my opinion, is not really a big deal like the long delayed Siri update. But what's good to know is that you will get several years of software updates, about 5, 6 or 7 years, which is great to see. And of course, we do have MagSafe wireless charging and Face ID for the biometrics. So altogether, the features, design and the software are what you expect from an iPhone. Pretty good, but nothing spectacular or amazing. So for that, I'm happy to give the iPhone 16's feature, design and software an A- grade. Alright, I better go back and cook some dinner, so I have something to eat. So let's keep going and I'll check in with you guys later with the battery performance. Alright, let's keep going.
Say, I don't gotta worry. Washing out the gray without a good vibes, good vibes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, we ready right now. Got me feeling so free, free. Got me feeling so free, free. Like a cool summer breeze, breeze. Got me.
Alright, so I just had some dinner and I've called my family from overseas and my friend Xiaowei just sent me a photo. Let's take a quick look. Oh, what does it say on it? Subscribe to Upwards. Well, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Alright, it's now 10:28 and our battery percentage is at 4%. Let's take a quick look at the battery performance of the iPhone 16 to see how it did throughout the day. So, taking a look at our battery performance, we've actually had a pretty big screen on time of 7 hours and 45 minutes. We've had a pretty busy day today and I did quite a lot of things like video calling and messaging, sending photos and videos. So, to be honest, this is actually really good performance. I'm actually quite impressed since this is actually better than the iPhone 16 Pro. This amount of screen on usage for this kind of phone, especially this smaller size, is actually pretty impressive. So I'm happy to give the iPhone 16 an A grade rating for its battery performance. Okay, so let's wrap up my thoughts about what I think about the iPhone 16. The iPhone 16 scores an 80 out of 100 or an A- grade, which is about what you get for this pricing. To be honest, this phone is, well, a little bit boring, and to be honest, it is just like any other iPhone out there. It's a very iterative upgrade over the iPhone 15, and there's honestly nothing super interesting about this phone. It really is just the iPhone for the masses. And that's about it. If you're an iPhone user and you're looking for a newer iPhone that has a better battery life, slightly better cameras but not like amazing cameras, and also solid battery life and performance, well, the iPhone 16 is pretty much your best bet to upgrade to. Obviously, if you want the better cameras, the iPhone 16 Pro is there for you as well. But if you are considering an Android, I would actually advise checking out a lot of other phones out there because they provide better value than the iPhone 16. For example, the OnePlus 13 is pretty much exactly the same price as the iPhone 16, but it has better specs overall. So that's something to consider. But iPhone 16 is a solid choice if you're an iPhone user. Alright, I'm Upwards. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.